Welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me. We are back in the house. It's been a little minute, but as I told y'all in the beginning, when I even started doing this, I am not going to make meaningless videos. I'm not going to do it. All right. So if there ain't no content to put out, I ain't putting it out. All right, because I want to give you something that I will watch. All right. So that's the way I like to run it. So with that being said, let's get into the breakdown of Minicamp. But before we get into the breakdown of the last 2 days of Minicamp, I want to talk to y'all about Tua, okay? Tua said something that was real interesting in a muscle milk, I don't know what you would want to call it. Maybe, I mean, it's an article, but I guess they just, they interviewed Tua, okay, for a muscle milk campaign ad type thing. And he said some enlightening things, okay, when it comes into regard of what happened last year, kind of exposing a little bit Flores and the offense they ran and the offensive coordinators, kind of, exposing the type of things that they were doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss that. I'm not going in favor of or against either side, we don't know the fullness of what was going on. We don't know why they did what they did, but it was said, so I just want to put it out there, what was said, and then we'll go from there. All right, I don't want anybody jumping the gun and saying it was because of this, it wasn't because of this, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying none of that myself. I'm just reading what they actually put in the article. That's it. All right, so after getting that out the way, the disclaimer, let's go ahead. Tua says, I have seen some improvements on being able to push the ball down the field once again. All right, now, the once again part, that means basically pre-injury, post-injury. Okay, so pre-injury, he was able to push the ball downfield. Go watch the tape. Go watch all the highlights you want. Tua was able to push the ball down the field prior to his hip injury. He is saying here, I am now able to push the ball down the field again. All right, the again part lets you know that he feels that he's back to being able to push the ball down the field like he was pre-injury. All right, you don't have to look too far to read into that. That's what that is. All right, let's move on. I wasn't really able to push the ball down the field last year because we didn't have plays specific to pushing the ball down the field. A lot of plays that were called last year were meant for one person. All right? Either this person is open or the play might be dead. It's a little different now. My second year was different than my rookie year, and this year will be different than last year with how we go about doing things. I definitely feel a lot more confident being able to push the ball down the field. It's going to be exciting. Now, Tua pretty much said he was a one-read quarterback last year. We don't know whose fault that is. We don't know if it's just a lack of trust in Tua, in his ability, or if it's Tua just not understanding how to do things, or maybe if it's a little bit of both. All right? We don't know what it is. You can assume based on your prejudices on who Tua is and pick a side. I'm not going to do that because we don't have all of the details. All right? And we're only hearing from one side, which is Tua's side. And he's not really picking a side. He's just saying what it was. But we're only hearing from him. All right? Here's what I'll say on that. No matter how you want to slice it, that's not the way you can run an offense, a successful offense. If you only got one read, it's not going to end well. All right? It's not going to end well. Now, I don't know if the offensive coordinators came up with this and said, you know what, we feel like this is going to be the best case scenario for us to win games. That ain't going to work. Okay? That's just not going to work. You can't be a one-read offense. You can't say, all right, we're going to Waddle. If Waddle's not open, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. You can't design plays for one person to be open. You have to have a contingency plan. It don't work like that. All right, this is the NFL. What if they take your first read away? What if they know what your first read is? You telling me you don't got nothing else? You don't got nothing else. What if the the defense is showing you something pre-snap to take that first read away? You don't got nothing else? That's a problem. All right, that's a big problem. And I know part of it is RPOs. On RPO, you got one read. All right, and that's across the board for the most part. You might have two reads at most, and it would be a swing or a glance route or basically a glance route, a slant, okay? Either the screen or the slant. It's a two-way, and you're going to pick based on the mesh guy, based on the guy that you're looking at, all right, that trigger guy that tells you you're going to go to the flat or you're going to go to the slant is based on that one read that you got to make, all right? But that's it. Most of the time, it's a one read, so we're not even just talking about those plays. We're talking about everything else, okay? That's a problem for me. That's a problem. I'm glad we're out of that situation if that's what it was going to be moving forward. Now, does Tua need to be better? Yes, he does, okay? And I know for a fact that Mike McDaniel is not going to be a one-read offense, so Tua either is going to have to show us what he got or he's going to have to get up out of there. Now, moving forward, let's talk about these last 2 days of a minicamp, okay? First day, let's go over that. Defense dominated. They dominated the first day. Sacks galore. Phillips getting in the backfield. Sealer getting in the backfield. Wilkins getting in the backfield, doing their thing. Bignagany coming off the corner spot for a sack or would-be sacks. Okay, by the way, these aren't real sacks. They're would-be sacks. Everybody's eating on defense, all right? Run game, they were stopping it up. Wilkins going to be a beast this year, guys. All right, he was a beast last year when it came to stopping the run. He was top 2 or 3 in defensive stops. He might have been 1, but I think it was 2 or 3 in defensive stops out of the defensive tackle spot. All right, and he had a lot of tackles for a defensive tackle as well. He's going to be a beast. Right now, he's unstoppable. He's coming into his prime. The dude's going to be a beast. Great pickup by Greer when we all thought it was a dumb pick after year 2. After year 4, we're seeing, hey, you know what? That guy's been beasting. After year 3, I think he's going into year 4 now, and then they picked up the option for year 5. All right, so anyway, he's going into year 4. Going into year 4, he's looking like a beast. That's a heck of a talent, and he's disrupting everything that the offense has been trying to do. Now, I'll say this. The offense was basically put on the spot after learning some new concepts and a new scheme that they were working in. So there was some communication issues and some other things like that, some things that they were trying to work out with them rhythm-wise and scheme-wise, okay? And fundamentally, there were just some things that were off in that first practice. But no matter what, defense pounced. They did their thing. They were working on exotic blitzes. Offensive line couldn't pick them up. Tua couldn't pick it up. Nobody could pick it up. And this happened with first team, second team, third team, per se. It was just a defensive dominated day, okay? And they dominated. They had an interception. They had a bunch of sacks. Offense in the red zone really couldn't do much. They did get one touchdown on the day from Skyler, but it was a nice deep the ball that he threw. And Tua did throw a 30-yard strike to Waddle, all right? So it was just in the middle. It was nice to see, but that was pretty much about it. Tua was spraying the ball. He was just incomplete pass after low throw or inaccurate throw. Tua did not have a good day. They let us know that Tua didn't have a good day. Tua himself, apparently, based on what they said after the during the press conference in the next practice that I'll be talking about, Tua himself felt like he was underperforming and he was hard on himself for that practice and he needed to do better. We fast forward, okay? Defense won that first day to the second practice that just ended the Minicamp series until we get back into it come training camp in late July, early August. Offense did a little bit better. Now, defense still dominated, okay? Defense did their thing. By the way, on that first practice, Igbenogany, a sack and a PBW against Waddle on a deep pass, okay? So he's sticking with guys. And we're talking about one of the fastest guys in the league, and he's sticking with them down the field, stride for stride, and he got the pass breakup. That's what you want to see. That's what I want to see from Igbenogany. By the way, also in that first practice, there was a couple of starters out, okay? Armstead was out. Agba was out. Mostert is still recovering. There were a few guys out. X didn't practice. So the starters on defense weren't necessarily there. And then Armstead wasn't there as well. So make of that what you will. Defense looked like it's going to be stout this year, but we'll see, okay? Because if the offense is just trash, then that means that the defense is probably just average, okay? So we'll see. That's to be determined. Come this second practice, about the same amount of guys out. By the way, Agba, Armstead, these same guys were out. Defense did well, did a lot like they did in that first practice. But the offense actually showed up a little bit, all right? By the way, in that first practice, and I'm going back because I'm remembering certain things in my head, Chase Edmonds had a 30-yard run behind, I believe Hunt it was, behind Hunt, and he was untouched for about 30 yards, getting down the field in a non-padded practice. So if the offensive line can open up runs in non-padded practice, that's a great sign, okay? It's a great sign because that means the scheme is working, all right? And they're understanding their roles in that scheme. That's good to see. Moving on. Second practice. They opened up holes again in the second practice, which is good to see. But it was mainly Tua, all right? Tua was doing Tua things that you want to see Tua do, all right? And we'll talk about Tua after the fact as well. But Tua threw 2 deep balls, one of them that you saw on Twitter. And if you don't have the Dolphins on Twitter, what are you doing? Or Instagram for that matter. Deep ball, beautiful deep ball. Noah Ig was in coverage again. He was right there, just barely missed the ball, but it dropped in the bucket for Tyreek for a touchdown. He threw another one to Tyreek, even deeper than that one, 50 yards in the air this time. That was a little underthrown. We didn't get to see it, but they told us a little underthrown, so we're going to go off that. But that doesn't matter to me. Did he catch it? Yes. Did he have separation? Yes. He got down necessarily at the 5-yard line, okay? So that's what they said. It could have either been a touchdown or they downed him at the 5-yard line. It was down at the 5-yard line. They went on to score, although Tua almost threw a pick. But we can't let that slide. He almost threw a pick in the red zone. But he did end up finding Tyreek Hill later on for a touchdown on that same drive in 11-on-11. We're hearing that Waddle is looking plenty fast, and he's helping the offense get space. Gesicki's doing the same thing. Tyreek is being Tyreek. We're hearing good things. Chase Edmonds looks very, very fast, all right? They got a rookie, undrafted rookie that's in there. I can't remember his name right now. Something White, Zachary Wyatt or something like that, who's doing pretty well as well. We're hearing good things, all right? Across the board on both sides. Javon Holland is all over the place. He's making plays left and right. Dropped a few interceptions. He's got to start catching those, to be honest, all right? Can't just be dropping the interception. You got to catch him. Dropped the interception against Tua in the first practice, so he's got to be a little bit better there catching the ball, but he's all over the place. He's all over the place. I love what I'm seeing when it comes to the defense. Love what I saw from Tua or heard about from Tua. This second practice, we just got to keep going, guys. We got to keep going. It's practice. I don't care if there's mess-ups. Mike McDaniel said it himself. Hey, this is the first time I'm really getting to evaluate Tua because it came off of some adversity. I need to see what my quarterback is going to do in the face of adversity. He came out. He did better than the first day. He wasn't perfect, all right? Still, there were some things that he could have done better. And in that first practice, he was holding on to the ball too long. Seems like in the second practice, he did a little bit better with that. But we just got to see progress, and we got to see you stand up to the pressure. That's something he did a little bit better in that second practice. Another thing I want to talk about in regard to what Mike McDaniel said. Mike McDaniel pointed out that, hey, you guys are talking about arm strength this, arm strength that. Well, let me go ahead and explain it to you a little bit. Arm strength and deep ball passing really doesn't, there's nothing there that a quarterback can't really do if the plays are working on schedule like they're supposed to. Because if it's a one hitch, then that means that the wide receiver is getting 45 yards down the field. Every quarterback in the NFL is going to be able to throw that. Now, if he has to wait because he didn't see it right away, that's when that arm strength stuff comes into play. So he's saying if the quarterback's on time, he's going to be able to throw that pass, that deep pass. If he's not on time, and if it's an off-schedule play, that's when it can come into play. Because if the guy's 60 yards down, 70 yards down the field, like a Pat Mahomes and a Josh Allen can get those guys to, then that's where Tua might have an issue, okay? But he's saying if the plays are designed on time to be able to throw those deep balls. So he has no problem, no worry with Tua being able to do that because in the system that he's running, you're going to be able to get the ball down the field 50 yards in the air, 55 yards in the air, no problem, because he's not going to require you to do the 60, 65, because that usually doesn't even happen in the offense. That's off schedule. Same stuff I've been saying, okay, why I'm not worried about Tua throwing deep, really, for the most part, is because if it's on time, he has to let the ball go early anyway. It's going to travel 50 yards. The wide receiver is going to do the rest. The only thing I said about Tua was the off-schedule stuff. That's the stuff he's going to struggle with because that's the times you got to throw it 60, maybe 70 yards in the air sometimes because you see a guy break open late, okay? That's the type of stuff we don't have to worry about with Tua because he needs to be throwing like Drew Brees did with the anticipation and timing. That is what's going to help us get those deep passing plays off. It doesn't have to be 60, 70 yards in the air. We don't need that. We just need him to throw it 50 on time and with anticipation, and we're good. Let the wide receiver get the last 20 yards. I don't care. All right? That doesn't matter to me. It could be a 70-yard touchdown and Tua threw it 40 yards in the air and the wide receiver did the other 30. I don't care. It's still 70 yards. Cool. Pat Mahomes might be able to do the 65 and you get the other 5. It doesn't matter. I don't care about that. Can you drive the football when you need to? He showed he could, all right, because he did it with Waddle against the Panthers last year where he drove the ball. It was like a 15-yard pass-ish, all right, ish. Rifled it into the end zone. Can you do that? Yes. Can you throw the 15-yard out? We need to see that a little bit more. And then can you throw it 40, 50 yards in the air? He can do that. That's it. I'm fine. The off-schedule stuff, the sidearm stuff, the throwing across your body stuff, that's all cute, but that's not what wins football games. All right, let's get to old Sassy Tua now, all right? And I know this video is a little bit long. I apologize. I haven't talked to y'all in a while. I got a lot to talk about. A lot I'm excited about as well. And one of those main things I'm excited about is Tua, old sassy self. Tua, brought a little bit of that passive aggressiveness out. Now, I'm a little bit passive aggressive myself, so I can appreciate some passive aggressivity or whatever that word would be that I'm trying to make up. Ooh, Tua. Ooh, Tua called some people out, didn't he? Ooh, if you have not watched Tua's press conference, whether you hate him or love him, please go watch that. Please, do yourself a favor. Go watch that because Tua opened up a little bit. All right, you saw a little different side of Tua. Tua hit back at the haters. He hit back at the haters himself. Now, usually he has, Tua Nan to back him up and to hit back on all the haters and Nick, of course, his personal trainer. But Tua did it himself this time. Tua said, hey, you Twitter warriors and Twitter thugs and thumb thugs, you guys, y'all ain't shooting with me in the gym. So I don't really care what you got to say. And on top of that, y'all said I can't throw deep. Did y'all see that first one to Waddle? I mean to Tyreek? Did you see the second? If you missed the first one, did you see the second one I threw to him? Right? Ooh, right in the breadbasket. Looked like money to me. Ooh, Tua, you had that in you, boy? Man, I wish you would have done that sooner. All right? Because that's the type of quarterback I like. Now, we might not, all right, get much out of Tyreek Hill for the rest of the year. But if there's something that I'm going to credit Tyreek Hill for, even more so than Mike McDaniel, is putting that dog in Tua because that is a byproduct of Tyreek Hill, in my opinion, okay? Because Tyreek Hill said, if I can instill confidence in my quarterback, all the better. And it seems like he's done exactly that in the short amount of time they've been together, okay? Now, Tua has spent time, all right, with Tyreek Hill. I know that for a fact because Tyreek was at his house talking about his dog. So we know for a fact that Tyreek has been in his ear about being the guy, you know what I'm saying, to lead this team and having the confidence in himself and in his teammates. He's expressing that, all right? And he's letting everybody know, I know what I got. I know what I bring to the table. And I'm going to show y'all and I'm going to talk to y'all about it if you got a problem with what I'm doing. I like that part of Tua. I like that kind of Tua. I want to see more of that Tua. It's not necessarily being prideful or gloating, but it's also not being bashful and timid. All right? We don't need that kind of quarterback. We need a guy that's going to say, hey, y'all been talking about me. Y'all watch the tape. Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape. Because I'm out here working. All right, now, I will say this. That does come with backlash if you ain't playing right. All right? Because if you all talk like Baker Mayfield, for example, where he was all talk, but then he ain't show up, they coming for you. All right? So just know that, Tua. They coming for you. Now, in Tua's defense, they already came for the man, and he ain't sent for him. All right? In Tua's defense, the man just be sitting there minding his own business and catching strays. But now that you're talking, it's going to come at you even more heavy. So you got to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. All right? I'll holler at y'all later on. I got some stuff in the works. Don't worry. We will get back to our regularly scheduled program with 2 or 3 videos a week. Probably 2. All right? Videos a week. But in the meantime, relax, chill, enjoy these last 2 days of minicamp, whether you're a defensive type guy or an offensive type guy or just a team type guy like myself. Enjoy these last couple of days. Let me know how you feel about sassy Tua, all right, about passive-aggressive Tua. Let me know how you feel about these last 2 days of practice, which one you feel like is more what Tua's going to be, whether it's the first practice or the second. Holler at me about it. Let's talk about it in the comments. And, we'll just go back and forth. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all already know what it is. Fins up till we die. I'm out.